Welcome back to the fourth quarter. Today, we're going to be ranking the NBA's top players to see where they all shape up. A simple webcam video for today. But first of all, let's look at our list here, right? And I'm going to just quickly throw a few guys in the injured category. Get well soon. I'm not going to rank them. Both of them, I would say easily Tatum top 10, Halliburton around that area. But it's hard to rank a guy who's just not playing, right? I'm just not going to dwell on it too much, but obviously they are injured. For the rest of this list, and injured for the whole season. I know Giannis is out for a couple weeks, but I'm not going to count that the same way, right? But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the guys who I think are all in this top 1 through 5 category together. Jokić, Giannis, SGA, Luka, and dare I say, Victor Wembanyama. I think he's number 5, but he's up there, right? These are our top 5 players in the association. I'm going to say 5 is Wembanyama, right? I'll break it down like this. Wembanyama 5, right? I think eventually, in maybe a year's time, possibly even shorter, but more time. Maybe it depends how many years, but I think eventually he will be here. I think he is slated to be the face of this league, right? But not yet. He just made, as of time of recording, he's playing in the NBA Cup Finals tomorrow against the Knicks. We'll have a few videos on that. If you haven't seen it yet, we'll probably link my post-game analysis up there. But for Wembanyama, not exactly the fact he's top 5 already is absolutely insane, right? 21 years old, about to turn 22. Then I would say 4 is comfortably Luka Dončić. Kind of just ended up working out this way. I would say the biggest reason that he's here is that he doesn't have... these 3, right, the top 3, all have MVPs and they all have championships. Luka has neither. Wemby has neither as well. He's younger, but that's besides the point. Maybe he will get one this year. Then I could throw him higher. But I think as of right now, he's the best scorer in the league, right? He's the best pure scorer in the entire association. I think that is something you could never take away from him. He's incredible. The Lakers are very good this year. But I don't think they're going to be championship winning team. I don't think he would be my pick for MVP. He can win one. I think he's obviously up there. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. Of course, cannot say things before they happen. But if it all ended right now, I don't think he's the MVP. So I think he still stays in this number 4 spot, right? Luka Dončić. Defense leaves a bit to be desired compared to, I would say Jokić. It's around the same, but not saying this is who's better. But defensively, SGA and Giannis are head and shoulders above Luka and Jokić, and then Wembanyama is better than all of them defensively, which is insane. But that's besides the point. SGA, right? Let's talk about SGA next. You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna talk about SGA next. We're gonna save SGA. Next, I'm gonna put Giannis. He does it on both ends of the floor, right? That's what he has. This is the biggest debate, right, between Jokić and Giannis. Spoiler, I'm going to put SGA 1. But between Jokić and Giannis, Jokić is the greatest, most efficient offensive player pretty much ever right now. And he's doing incredible things. On the other end, leaves a bit to be desired. Not exactly a terrible defender by any means, but not on the level of a Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Giannis on both ends does it incredibly well. But I think Jokić being, like I just said, I said the best offensive player right now, like basically ever. And I think that is enough to put him over what Giannis brings on the other end. I think the difference in the offense is enough to make up for the difference in the defense. They're very close, these two, I would say. Giannis has been incredible for years. He's not been anything but a top 3 player in the association. We'll see if he ends up getting traded. Obviously, he's hurt right now. We'll see if that ends up happening, possibly to the Knicks. That's a team that's obviously been mentioned. There's Golden State's another team that's been thrown around. We'll see if that ends up happening, but doesn't really make a difference in how good he is. He's been a top 3 player in the association his whole prime. There's no way around that. Incredibly consistent and one of the best players of all time. And I'm going to say Jokić is number 2. We just talked about how he's having one of the best offensive seasons ever. He's been absolutely unstoppable on that end. He's rebounding, assists, obviously, scoring as well, super efficiently, just insane. You just look at straight numbers and it's just like, straight numbers, he is the MVP, right? And he's been that way for probably the past 4 seasons based off straight numbers. But what I'm going to say is that, at the time of recording, they just lost to the Spurs, right? So they did snap the 6-game win streak. They're on pace for the best record in NBA history. I don't know how the pacing changed a bit last game, but I'm just going to still say they are. He won the MVP and the Finals MVP last season. He is he's a great defender, just an elite scorer. It's just a walking bucket, right? In that mid-range. You think he's going to make it every single time. And that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is just unstoppable, right? On both ends of the floor. He's incredible on-ball defender, great perimeter D. He has a great team around him, but this team is not what it is without SGA, right? He is the engine behind one of the best teams ever. Just absolutely incredible. I don't get people trying to discredit him because of the flopping, whatever, the people around him. He is the best player in the association, and he has been that for the past 2 years. Now let's go 6 through 10, right? Let me throw the guys who are here, not particularly in order. It's going to be Anthony Edwards, actually, yes. It's tough. Cade Cunningham, I would say. This is tougher than I thought. I'll say Steph will be the last of this 5. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. All right. This is tough. Let's rank them. Okay, I think rounding out the top 5, or top 10, excuse me, is going to be Kevin Durant. He's absolutely incredible. I mean, he's done it for however long that it's been. It's been a long time since he's been in the Seattle Supersonics, who don't even exist anymore. That's how long it's been. Obviously, it was his rookie year, and they relocated to OKC. But he has been doing it at this level for so long. Solid defender, but obviously the scoring is what you look at. The best scorer of all time, 3 levels. Does it for Houston this year. He's in a new... He is. I think Kevin Durant, I think if pretty much anybody, is a guy that you could throw on any team and he'll excel more than anybody else, because he just plays pure basketball. Like, the thing with like a guy like obviously LeBron James, Michael Jordan, the only problem with them is as much as they can, obviously all these guys, if you throw them on any team, they get better. That's just not even a debate. But I'm just like, Kevin Durant fits the best with the least amount of work, because he just, like, LeBron needs the ball in his hands at all, like a lot of the time, right? Same with Michael Jordan, same with a lot of these top guys. Of course, Kevin Durant can play off ball, on ball, does literally everything. I mean, these two guys came together and made not Cade Cunningham. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if Cade played with Steph or KD, but that's not what I meant. I meant KD and Steph came together and made the greatest team of all time, right? That is the best team ever. And then this season, man, I'm going to put Cade next, but I think if he continues to play the way he's been playing and the Pistons do it in the playoffs, he can be even higher, right? This is a place where I think he has a lot of room to go. He has been absolutely insane this year, right? He is just incredible. The Pistons, really, what a turnaround for Cade Cunningham and the Pistons. He's been just phenomenal, right? They're right, as of recording, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Just insane numbers from him. I mean, you got a lot of countries for other places, but he does it on both ends of the floor. Just an elite microwave scorer. And then we'll go Steph Curry, right? He just doesn't lose it, right? The best off-ball player ever. Some of the best handles of all time. And obviously the greatest the 3-point and just shooter in general of all time. That's not something that you lose with age. He's just absolutely incredible. He has been doing it at a high level his whole career, and he's going to continue to do it till the day he retires. Golden State's tough Western Conference for them to compete, but we'll see if they do. But as of right now, it's going to be a hill battle for him to compete in the West, but we'll see. Next up, I'm going to stick with the order. I'm going to say Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is insane, right? The Wolves Conference Finals last year, 3-point scorer. He gets better in different ways every year, right? People talk about his playmaking left a bit to be desired. And then last year in the playoffs and throughout the beginning of this year, his playmaking's been much improved. The Wolves are an incredible team, one of the best in a really stacked Western Conference. And how can you not say anything about the engine of this team? And that's Anthony Edwards. He's absolutely incredible. He's 3-point shooting. He could dunk over you. He could score in any different way, and that's exactly what he does. He just plays with such an intensity that people love. He's the second best American player, in my opinion. And it's crazy to think about, like, the 1 through 5 is all international, and 6 through 10 is all American. But number 6, the burner, Jalen Brunson, the captain of the New York Knicks. He is just some of the best footwork of all time in the NBA. Him doing this at his height, at 6 foot, is just so impressive. He's so incredibly good. He could score any point on the court. He's a facilitator, right? He's a great passer. defense leave. That's another thing, right? Him and you look at Luka are similar players where physically they don't jump off the page, but they can just score on you at complete will. And the Mavericks had both of them. And they drafted them in the same draft class. That is genuinely one of the most incredible draft classes ever, especially because you look at it, it's a first round and a second round pick. Like, a lot of teams, like the best draft classes are like teams who had multiple lottery picks, right? They hit on both of them, but they didn't draft Luka, but I'm going to count it as part of the draft class because it was a draft day trade, right? But getting Luka and Brunson in the same draft class is absolutely just a master class, obviously, of drafting, right? Especially first, second round. And Jalen Brunson, they're very similar players too, right? They could just score at will defensively. They leave a bit to be desired. Luka has more physical attributes than Brunson, but even then on the defensive end, I mean, he's obviously gets headhunted a lot, but he's good at drawing charges. That is one of his best qualities. He's near the top of the league every single year in charges drawn. It's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of size for Brunson, but offensively, the clutchest player in the entire association as well, right? You need a bucket at the end of the games, and that's why I'm going to put him 6, is because you need a bucket at the end, you go to Brunson, right? And he will get it done damn near every time. He won Clutch Player of the Year last year. Likely can do the same this year. Just absolutely incredible in the clutch. And in the playoffs, he turns it on even further, right? I mean, we see scoring out of him, something that we haven't seen out of anyone since Michael Jordan, right? Since back in the 90s, just absolutely insane numbers. And that's why I put Brunson. The playoff rising is absolutely insane. I'm going to throw the next category here. Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker. Well, okay, Damian Lillard is also injured. I don't know why I put him. I didn't think of him as like a guy I was even like thinking about, to be honest with you. Ooh, this is tough. Okay, I'm between some combination of these three. Spicy P, Evan Mobley, Kawhi Leonard. I'm going to say... I'm going to say Pascal. I mean, like, Kawhi's like not playing that much this year. I'm gonna throw him there. Leave the rest of these guys at HMs. LeBron, I love him to death. He's incredible, but I think I would take a lot of these guys over Embiid. Taking a step back due to injuries. Trae Young's been all right. Ja Morant is a whole situation. Also a whole situation is Kawhi Leonard, but he also hasn't been healthy, really. I'm actually just throwing him in the injured because it's a really better description of what he's been. But let's look at this, all right? So, this is a tough terrain. I'm going to put these two are, I think, a step below Mobley and Siakam. Siakam is incredible, by the way. I'm such a fan of Siakam's game. He was so good last year, the whole playoff. He killed the Knicks, man. That was brutal. But I'm gonna do all right. But let's start with Evan Mobley, right? One of the best defenders in the entire NBA, of course, right? He could score as well, but what you're really looking at him is he's a perennial DPOY candidate. It's going to be him and Wemby for a long time to come, right? Top of the league defensively, just absolutely insane on that end of the floor. Really brings a lot to that Cavs team, right? With Donovan Mitchell as well, who we'll talk about in a second, but just absolutely just incredible defense. And that's really the main thing you're looking for with him, right? And scoring is there too. Rebounding is there as well. Okay passer, but that's the main focal point. Spicy P, right? It put him in the spin cycle. Spin around. Pascal Siakam, absolutely incredible player. He had an amazing run last year. I think his run last year was so underrated. I mean, Halliburton had an incredible run as well, but they do not get where they get to without Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam was there every game, putting up consistent scoring numbers, just absolutely incredible, putting up rebounding. He's a good defender, can do everything on the floor. Halliburton was great too, right? He had all those clutch moments, but there was times where Halliburton did have stinkers. Pascal was a lot more consistent, and that team is a 1A, 1B type team, not as a disrespect to Halliburton, but as a people are disrespecting Pascal Siakam and how good he is and how important he was to that finals run last year, right? They need both of them. Donovan Mitchell is next, just incredible scorer, right? He could defend as well. He has that length with those long arms. He's not the tallest, but he makes up for it in wingspan. He's an incredible scorer, right? He can score anywhere. Mets fan, my goat for that, right? I love Donovan Mitchell, Spida. And the Cavs have been good, right? They were the 1 seed last year in the Eastern Conference. This year, not there just yet in terms of standings, but it's early. It's a tightly contested standings. They could definitely get back there with great play from him as well as Mobley, Garland, a lot of different guys on that team. But that team is really very good, and I think Donovan Mitchell is the obvious main scorer for that team. And speaking of top scorers in the league, Devin Booker, one of the most just throw the ball to him and let him score, right? The Suns this year are an interesting team too, because when I talk about how bad they were going to be, right? They were in a really tough situation, but they've really started to build an identity for themselves. They lead the league at the point of recording again in terms of turnovers forced, right? They have done a great job defensively. That team's very good, and they have one of the best scorers in the league in Devin Booker. I think this is more of a transition year for the Suns, and I think he's going to stick with them through that. But you really can never underestimate the impact that he has on his team. And for 11, I'm going to say Anthony Davis. I mean, he was traded for, obviously, number 4 up here. But I think when people talk about it, they talk about Anthony Davis as if he's not one of the best players in the league, right? He's an incredible defender. His really only knock is his health, right? Incredible defender, incredible scorer, incredible rebounder. He can pass pretty good as well, right? He can do everything on the floor that you need from Anthony Davis. He is, when he's healthy, right? When Flag needs, get through his rookie hump here, right? He needs a bit of time to learn the game, learn the league, learn how his game translates, what he needs to do, what he doesn't. Kyrie needs to come back healthy, but that's a good Mavs team, right? When everyone's healthy, and that's obviously the biggest factor of any team. And when you get guys Davis and Kyrie who have consistently been hurt throughout their career, it's a tough thing to say, right? How good they can be, but I think Anthony Davis is the clear best player on that team. And until Cooper Flag, if he could hit a ceiling, that's a whole different can of worms. But he is incredibly good, and he is obviously an elite defender, right? What DPOY candidate every single year he's healthy. And I think the Mavericks, once he, Flag, Kyrie all share the floor together, I think it's a very dangerous team, and I think it's a huge part of that. But yeah, it's just a quick ranking, right, of the top 15 players in the NBA. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the fourth quarter. If you want more like this, we have more NBA, MLB, and NFL content coming your way all the time. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day.